4th of July. Donald Trump got his 4th of July wish. His one big, beautiful bill was passed today, for better or worse. And there are varying opinions of that. But I need to change something here. Since this is political, nature will changes to news and politics. Okay, still with me. Oh, I look at the world. oh, I know the glasses will ever feel. But, I I've looked at the world most of my life through rose-colored glasses. But in the last 20 years, well, 30 years, to tell you the truth, a little bit over 30 years, how time slips away when you're living day to day with very little money. But you got your friends, your fellow countrymen, your family, all those who, give you your firm grip of who you are as a human being and your reality. And your reality comes from here. Just in case you didn't know. I don't want to come off condescending, but there are those, and you must agree with me. Now smile. We're trying to be civil here. But the one big, beautiful bill, it's like, what is it? I want to say Tom Tillis. It sounds funny, like I'm trying to make fun of. I think his name's Tom Tillis. He's a senator from North Carolina. And he stood up and he gave a very, very, he was pleading with them not to do it. Not to do it. That it shouldn't be done. And so, to Mr. Tillis, I commend him for standing up. But, he declares he's not running before he stands up. Now, it looks like, it's, here someone's giving up, wanting to live, and they tell you so right before they walk out in front of the tractor trailer. I mean, he would have more power. Hey, how's it going? He would have had more power to what he tried to do to hold back House Resolution 566. He would have had much more impact, more punch. You won't be jolted. Well, you're a 4th of July baby. Okay. Can any of you tell me what 2 presidents died on July 4th? And don't Google it. That ain't fair. 3, 2, 1. Well, I can't remember either, but they kind of had this thing between them, and I can't remember what it was. Cut the green screen on for Lamar Jackson edit. Hey now, how are all y'all doing? I was talking about the one big, beautiful bill, House of Representatives, Resolution 566. Passing today after Hakeem Jeffries gave the longest dissertation in the House's history, and it's, like in 2 or 3 generations. Hey man, yeah, it's this is going to kill a lot of people, literally. I mean, I know somebody that just passed away. They went to the local hospital. They had Medicaid, and because they had Medicaid, they said they didn't have a room for them. And this person was given a prescription, and then the pharmacy don't have the medication, but the pharmacy won't think, to go any further, and he doesn't push it. That, this is for somebody who has a heart condition, and if infection gets around your heart, inflammation, pericarditis, and then, it quits beating. But, it's crazy already. And what Trump has done right here with the one big beautiful bill is as much as taking a knife and stabbed it into one of our loved ones' chest. But he's not going to do that. But he is going to create an army of masked individuals. There is, let me see, what was it? $2.4 billion has been appropriated in the one big beautiful bill, House of Representatives Resolution 566. $2.4 billion to create an army of them, to create facilities, detention centers throughout the country. Now, why in the world can't we use what we've already got? Get the ones, it's going to take work to get people who are professional criminals. It's going to take work to catch people like that if Trump's wanting to go that route. And then you're going to have to utilize the people on the ground. And really, it's putting people like anybody that who's a local police officer, it's putting their butt on the line. Because they're the ones that's going to have to spot these people, keep an eye on them, and be able to track them, because you can't have a whole bunch of feds running around. They just stand out like a sore thumb. So that's why they're going for all these soft targets when they go on these raids. I saw the footage of them chasing people out through a doggone field. That one MS-13, hiding out in a doggone patch of broccoli and cauliflower. It wasn't. Couldn't be. MS-13 is still, hanging out wherever they're hanging out. They ain't having even local law enforcement will come up with one. And if I'm sure, I would love to say I'm 100% sure I could Google it right now, and one would have been busted today, or this past week, or this past month, or this past year. But surely to God, there's been one MS-13 member in the last year apprehended by someone in the United States of America. Somewhere. All of this stuff is searchable. It's searchable. But I do think that there are one big, beautiful bill, and that's House Resolution 566. It's a terrible mistake. It should have never been made. Don Tillis was right. We should be ashamed of ourselves. And he didn't say it, but I know he wanted to. Donald Trump, have you no shame? Sir, do you have no shame? There are people dying right now, because just because the bill had been passed, these corporations that own all the hospitals now, very few, you don't have any locally owned hospitals. Anything that was financially viable, they would have someone come around and bribe the local directors, for the board of directors for whatever nonprofit organization owned the hospital. And then they'd create some kind of little super fund for the community to live off an annuity from the funds that was generated through the sale of their local hospital. Because I don't recall how much they got, but it was up in the millions of dollars for our local hospital. And it's been sold 4 times. Now they've created a network of what was my original hospital with, some that's miles down the road. I mean, it's all crazy. And Trump's, Tom Tillis was, he's a senator from North Carolina, and stupidly told everybody he wasn't going to run for re-election, and then goes on a Senate floor and tells them it's crazy to do this to Medicaid and Medicare. Yeah, thanks a lot, man. Yeah, I'm a very passionate individual, Robert. That's for sure. But it's just really driving me bonkers. Wondering about what's going to happen to all these poor souls, and how many people are going to die, a decade before they should. And could it be that they are so spiteful and so uh, deranged as to think that, here's the biggest glut ever imposed upon humanity to take care of? Because I remember paying Medicaid taxes. They take a fourth of your check. They took at least 25%. Then into the 1980s, I started working in 1972, and by the 1980s, they cut back on the taxes a little bit on us and raised it on some others. And then they it's been a ride. I'll just say that. It's been a ride. Yeah, I just wanted to come on here and voice my disapproval of today's vote and say that I'm sorry that there's absolutely nothing I can do about it. I voiced my opinion, countless times, and it's hasn't seemed to do anything but inflame people. So I'll just keep on doing what I have been doing. That's saying what's on my mind and calling it like I see it. And if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, either you tripping or it's duck. And if you tripping in my Bible's just to be anything. So you take care of yourself, and thanks for hanging in there with me.